going on, everyone? Today we're I don't know, share my thoughts on what honor and oaths and stuff. I'm going to talk a little bit about that, about being an honor, about these people not honoring their oaths. A little bit about the oaths, and later on I'll have a different subject for a different video, getting in depth about oaths and bonds. But for now, we're talking about the oath and honoring the oath and living in honor. And just a lot of this, you know, when people aren't being in honor and aren't being honorable, especially when they take an oath to do so, it ruins people's lives. It causes problems one way or another, and sometimes it can lead to drastic problems, you know. So we'll get to that. First, I'll give you a little update here. What is this, like day 8, rock bottom? As His Royalness Mr. Essex so gratefully wanted for me. Yeah, this is what it is, right? So I give these people a call again, the number I was told. I think that might even showed up on the video. Call the number on the window that we put there, right? And I did that. Supposedly somebody was going to call me, so I waited, you know. And today, just a little bit ago, I said, hey, you know, called them back. Hey, nobody called me. I'm tired of waiting. And they transferred me over to the coordinator, and so nobody, but of course I had to leave a message. So I leave a message, and I wait around and wait around. Finally, somebody called me back, and sorry, whiskey's chewing up a stick. It's funny, just because he grabbed just that one stick. Anyway. So they call me back finally, and it's somebody out of Florida or whatever, you know, so whatever, there's their job, right? So I'm all right, but I'm all right. And they go on. So it turns out now they're gonna set up me to meet the vendor. Whether I guess my stuff's in 2 different storage at 2 different places. And what do you have? So then they want all this information. What do you have, a truck or stuff you're going to be there with? And I was like, I don't even know what's going on. I want to know where my stuff is. I would, for the most part, I'd like to get my clothes. I wonder, you know, whatever, you know, can I have my clothes back, you know, again. And how much of it's missing, I don't know, you know. So, but now they're gonna call me back when I can meet with the vendor and either have it changed over in my name or have a truck to get it, whatever. But I'm worried about my bike and my clothes, 2 majorest things. Well, I mean, I had a safe, right? Had the last little bit I was living off of. Down to, you know, and a couple other things that I don't, you know, whatever. It's not, can I guarantee that safe wasn't messed with, you know, cracked? I don't know. I mean, it's not like they can't be cracked kind of easily. So that bothers me. My bike, what kind of shape's it going to be in? My bed was fairly new. It's a big king size bed. I mean, you know, this, you know, it's like the weather ain't so bad. You can handle this stuff as long as you can take care of some things. You know, it's rough. You want to know what rock bottom is at this point. We'll get to that. You know, but this at the, you know, so you find a place to shower, but you gotta wear, you know, whatever. Somebody did help, was nice, and had a pair of jeans and shirt that donated, you know, that was nice, you know, whatever. So I was able to change 1 pair of clothes, right? it's, but you know, so I'd be able to go somewhere to shower, and then, but you know, the rest of it is what, and then you're, other than that, you're wrapped up in these clothes all day, so you, your shoes, you know, of course, so then you grab a bottle of alcohol from the dollar store and all over your feet, and cuss till it quits burning. Whatever. This is what they, you know, I've never had, and I never had them kind of issues ever with my, you know, always with any, you know, whatever, but my feet, you know, never, you know, I never had until like, I'd say around December something of 21, maybe into January 22, that's when I ever had what is an athlete's foot or whatever, you know, stuff with my feet that it pisses me off. I've never had them kind of issues, you know, until the first time they pretty much forced me to live in my vehicle, and I took it on and did it, and that wasn't good enough. Now they had to keep going into this. Anyways, I won't keep going on about that right now. If anyone's paying attention, they know what's going on. But you know, so yeah, but it messes up your feet pretty bad when you got, this is what, you know, it's not so bad, as bad this time, because I knew what to, and it's nice enough out that I can hang out here and take my shoes and socks off, so it's good, you know, whatever. But I need to be able to get my clothes so I can have fresh socks, you know, stuff like that. This is what they, and you know, this is my case of rock bottom. But where this rock bottom, how was this caused on me? Because some people aren't living in honor, you know, some people aren't being honorable and honoring their oaths. So that's what we'll get to, you know, and I guess what I'm talking about mostly is law enforcement, right? That's where my issue is. And it does go deeper than law enforcement. It goes people, period. But when we talk about, or any public servants, when we're talking about if I say law enforcement, first of all, I don't like the term law enforcement, because that means enforce the Constitution. That's the law, but they're not enforcing that. You know, they're not holding up to none of their protect and serve, none of this. But point being, any public servant, they're under oath. Okay, your sheriff, your judge, prosecutors, city lawyers, any public servant, president, you know, of course, you know, all your mayor, congressmen, city people, when they take on these jobs, they're under oath. And it's very important that we hold these people accountable to their oaths. And one of the biggest things right now that they're doing to me is trying to change it to because they're trying to keep me hushed up, because they don't want anybody, not just me, you know, they don't want anybody saying, hey, these people need to be held accountable to their oaths, because otherwise you keep putting it up with it. Like the judge, the judge, he's violation of his oath, okay? And what that did to me, this is a result of that. And he's been the same judge, I remember, since I've been 18 years old at least, you know. He's been the same judge. I know that. I was in front of him when I was 18 years old, you know. That's the same judge. And okay, that's fine, but you know, maybe it's not fine when he's obviously violating his oath and he wants to pretend you've been a judge this long and a lawyer that however much longer. No, this is all your cushy jobs, and you know what, if you want to keep it, don't violate your oath. Remember your oath. And that's what I'm talking about, being in honor, you know. Do we all have to, is there anything that forces us to live in honor? No, you know, none of us have to live in honor. But the problem is, these people who are under oath, you do have to live to a certain extent of honor. What is honor? You know, we can define what is honor and where it comes from. And for me, you know, it's not for me. It's a general thing about, when they take this oath, they're swearing usually to a higher power, right? And traditionally, it's, and as far as I'm concerned, it's to God. They're our rights come from God, and when they swear their oath, they're swearing their oath. And whether it's even you're swearing your oath, you're swearing your testimony of who you are, then by all that you are, you will do everything to abide by that, and that will be in honor. Instead, they live in honor to their own code. Okay, there's no such thing of a code of honor. That it's become that we now have where some people live by a code of honor. I try to myself live by a certain code of honor, but there's not really that. Honor should be there or it's not. It's always from the very beginning. You're either honorable or you're not. But when you take on a job as a judge or any other public servant, a cop, these people are swearing under oath that they will be honorable to your rights and to the Constitution. And so for around here, it would be the Constitution of America and the Constitution of Ohio, right? For where I'm at and wherever you're at. But mainly the Constitution of the United States, right? Our Constitution, which is supposed to be for here the supreme law of the land. And they're not honoring that. And they're not living in honor. And if they can't live in honor, if they can't honor their oath, this oath, how serious it is, if they can't honor that, how honorable are they? Period. Because violating that oath leads to very serious consequences. And look at me right now. This is my life right now, because around here, no public servants are in honor of their oath. And it means nothing. Words mean nothing. And that's another subject, These words mean nothing. And I start to live by certain philosophies now as I put more things into perspective. And some people, I think, take me the wrong way or misunderstand me, and you lose contact with. I'll get into a few things later on, but simply because maybe they're misunderstanding you or whatever. But anyway, this happened to me because people are not being in honor, and it's in the words, the words. So one of my things is now that understand what your words mean and then speak. I seen a thing that said something like that, so I'll see if I can find it and post it up or whatever. Something along those, I think maybe that's what it says, whatever. And that hits, because these days words mean things, and these days it's all taken for granted, and people don't even understand that words mean every word. From the beginning of time, as people lived, words meant whatever, and your actions, all the words and the actions combined, always used to match, because those words were important. If you gave somebody words, those words meant what they were supposed to mean. And these days they don't. An oath, these people are swearing under oaths all the time, and to honor those oaths, and they're swearing, and sometimes, most of the time, on a Bible and before God, they're swearing before God that they will honor those things, and it's not happening. They don't understand the words of what, we don't understand a lot of words these days. Most of the words, we don't understand our words. You tell somebody you care about them, do you know what the word care means? You tell somebody you love them, do you know what the word love really means? I mean, if you went back to wherever, you would understand what the word love really means, and where dramatic stories came from way back is because that word meant something. And when you tell somebody this, it meant something. When you tell somebody, I'm going to honor my oath, I took this oath, I swore before God that I will abide by the Constitution, I will uphold those laws, and I will treat each person with the respect, and I will, stuff like that. Give the people the respect they deserve. I will not violate people. I will not cheat. I will not steal. I will not, that's being in honor. And there's nothing that forces you to be in honor. But when you swear under oath, then what kind of person are you? So this is what I'm telling people are always, oh, there's good cops and there's, I don't want to go, I'm not trying to say there ain't any that's trying or whatever, but if you're under oath, you're also under oath to protect the person from your pal, from your fraternity pal. It's if you're under oath, as an example, so I use my case for an example, right? The sheriff, first night, come to my work, arrested me. That was unlawful. And the other deputy that was there was under oath, and he should have said, look, man, no. Instead, if you read his report, he had his hand on his weapon ready in case what? There was no reason for me to be treated as a threat. And there was no reason for them to show up at my work and harass me anyways. Okay? So they both, that means even though this other officer really was innocent in all of it, but he was there, he's in violation of his oath by not protecting me from his comrade, Sorry, you're under oath. And I get it, it's, the problem is, I was part of a club. There's things, I have a past that, I believe I'm an honorable person, and I've, for the most part, always have tried to be. But there's things, we all make mistakes and we all slip up or whatever. But I was part of a club, and I get what your loyalty is supposed to be or whatever, and you swear your loyalty to that and whatever. Well, when I started to, when it started to become a problem with who I am as a person, period, then I start, because my allegiance will never go. My allegiance is to me, my allegiance is to me, it's to God, and that means it'll be to me. I will make my allegiance to do right by God. So, other than that, that means I should live my life in honor, period, without an oath or anything like that. But these people are under oath. They swore to be good people. They swore to uphold the Constitution. Okay, and then you go further into it, and then the next morning I'm in jail doing my video conference from jail. The assistant city law director is under oath, and he clearly would have seen that. There was no reason I should have been in, by the papers that were filed by the officer alone. And I got to get my stuff and go through it. Hopefully they, but whatever, I was, that's been all submitted out. But but according to that, I shouldn't have been in jail, and they knew it. And there certainly wasn't a reason to suggest I should not be allowed at my house, in my own house, And so Mr. Essex violated his oath. He is not an honorable person. What kind of person is this? If you will violate an oath that you swore to, then who are you as a person? I tried to live as if I swore an oath, and I've never swore an oath. Except, okay, I give my word to God, and that's not up to anybody here. It's up just between me and God, right? That I want to be a better person. I ask him to help me and point out to myself where I can improve and where I'm not. It's not an easy road, and I'm not going to condemn anybody. That's not what I'm not trying to say I'm perfect, because I'm certainly not. I'm no angel. I certainly have a past, right? And the point is that I didn't swear no oath, under no oath. I didn't swear by nothing and this person did. Okay, so in my thing I'm saying is, in my personal life, I try to be good to everybody and do the right thing, as whatever. And this guy ain't. If he can violate an oath that he swore to, how is he living his personal life? That means nobody in his life can trust him. That's just how it is, until he wants to take a look at himself and say, hey, they're supposedly their club that they're involved in, their fraternity, whatever you want to call it. We'll get to that later on. I'm trying not to push it too hard, but that they're talking about being an honorable person, living your life in honor and integrity. And this is things, people that know me know that this is who I try to be myself. But so and how you can prove, well, all you brothers aren't improving each other because you're laughing it up when you violate one of us. You don't have to live your life in honor of your oath, because instead you're in honor of your brethren, and screw the rest of us. Well, that's who you are as a person. That means no one in your life can trust you. And and nobody sees that. I broke away from different things where I found out where there was people I certainly couldn't trust, and I thought I could. I was involved in things where brotherhood. There's no such thing, a real brotherhood. Brotherhood is supposed to be the way you live your life, period. And that's the truth. And I treat you as my brother. I treat you're my friend until you're not. Now I got what I would call best friends. I got a couple of, I've been blessed to have a couple of really good friends. Some people out there don't have very many at all. I've got a couple of pretty good friends, and of course I'm probably gonna treat them a little better than the rest, or than everybody else, I suppose, right? But otherwise, I treat everybody as, you're my friend until you're not, until you're my enemy, until you choose that route. I got no reason to be anybody's enemy. And I try to live in honor, and when I realize my mistakes, I try to fix them. And people don't want to live in honor, and it attests for who they are, that they don't even want to fix their mistakes. And take a look. This is what, as I explained earlier about this crap I'm going through. Rock bottom. I volunteered for some of it, kind of, sort of, what I would say, and not for it to get this far at all. And not to run out to every penny I had. I did everything as wise as I could, and they're dragging it out on purpose, and they are constantly lying and everything else. These are not honorable people. So leave it in the comments what you think below. But what's honor mean to you? What's living in honor mean to you? And how important should these oaths be if we swear to them under God? How important should our words be, whether we're under oath or not? This is one thing I said I would get to in my thoughts. While things are the way they are, until I can do better with my videos, I'll be sharing thoughts and stuff. And as I said, I went to a deep dive looking at my own self. I'm not, when I point the finger and people think I'm pointing the finger, it's my own self too. I understand I've come, I would say I've come a distance, but I've also know that there's always work. We always got work to do on ourselves. But the right thing to do and the honorable thing to do is, I made a mistake, let me fix this, right? And the problem is, we're living in a world now that stuff don't exist anymore. There's no more honor among men. There's no more honor among people, men and women. There just isn't. Everybody's enemy anymore, and it's really quite sickening. And this world is just, like I said, this stuff don't exist anymore. We don't know what the words are. We don't know what they mean. We don't know what nobody around us is truly living in honor, so we don't even know what it means. We got people that we have a lot of respect for. We think they're these great people, and they got these weird skeletons in their closet and I don't care what your skeletons are, but when they harm other people in one form or another, there's a problem. And then there's people that will hide from it, and they will hide from it because we don't live in a world about that anymore, in a world that you even have to face it anymore. But when it does happen, they will try everything not to see the results of what they're doing. And if they have any kind of soul, at least, because otherwise, if you take example my case, how much of a soul do you have when you're the deputy sheriff that caused all of this to start, and you're the first person, you're suddenly on first shift now or whatever, I don't know, but you're the first face I see. When that is rotten. When they came to my house to yank me out of there, how honorable is that? That dude has no honor. Anyone who knows little, whatever, I don't want it, it's just how it is. Anyone who knows him, I assure you can't trust that dude, because he still had enough nerve to to be in honor would be, and he would say, oh, you want me to tell everybody I arrest you for domestic violence? I'm not hiding nothing. I have nothing to hide. These people do. Anyone against me has something to hide. I have nothing to hide. Okay, and he knows that it was a lie anyways. And he has enough nerve to be that. A person in honor would say, wow, look at this. I really messed up. And he would at least say to the sheriff, you know what, I can't take part in this. The rest of you are going to do this, fine, but I can't take part in this because this is actually a result of how I really messed this guy's life up. That would be living in honor. But there's nobody steps forward and apologizes for what they've caused on me. And I apologize to any. I've been sitting here going through my life, catching up with people I haven't, that I think I might have wronged whenever. I visited some graves saying, maybe please forgive me if and it's not, I've never really truly wronged too many people that very wrong, but you do make mistakes. And, but like I said, I've taken a deep dive. I want to know every little thing I've done. All these things have more consequences. No sin is greater than the other. That's the way it is. No sin is greater than the other. All of them are equally great. So I mean, that's just my personal preference. Nobody has to do that. This is what I'm doing, right, about myself. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to this and the result, what's going on here with me, not one person's honorable to step up and say, I'm sorry for what I did here. I'm sorry for causing this, and whatever. And if they would have, like, I can go on and on about the difference, but if we want to, on the public side of it, and which one of these public servants, the judge, all of them know that it's wrong now. By now there's no excuse. Which one of these people, prosecutor, judge, law department, even the attorney general, which one of these people have stood up and said, we're sorry, something's wrong here, this is wrong, let us help you fix this? Because what you don't understand is also the mental side of it. The mental side of it, this is what I'm talking about. It's hard for me to, like, I don't want to, like, when it first went down, when all this for me first went down, I should have documented this stuff like I was going to. I had it, but I didn't throw it out there. I threw a very little bit out there just to, let people know what was going on, but not like, oh, here's my life, here's what's like living in my truck. And this was in the dead of winter. It was not an easy task. Being broke because all my money was going to pay the bills that I wasn't allowed to take advantage of, to have the use of, so I mean, already before that, because already the thing is, people hit you at the wrong time, because already before that I was taking a dive into my own self and looking at my own life. I wanted to improve me, and I wanted situations that was going on in my life, I wanted them to be fixed and whatever. And but it's hard to do that while you're still focusing on work and everything else that's going on in your life. And a lot of things take away from that, and the devil's there to take you away from that every time, and that's the truth. But anyways, I was already taking this, okay, and then as this happened, wow, it's the wrong time for a lot of this stuff to had gone on, because it threw me down worse. But I took a deep look at a lot of stuff, and like I say, today's subject is living in honor. The proper thing, Well, I don't know. Go ahead and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate your likes, especially if you watch this far. Like it, leave your thoughts in the comments. Any subjects you'd like me to cover, whatever. What is it? I don't. It's a little bit hard to be saying, hey, this is what I'm going. This is what it's like for me and my dog to be living like this. And right now, like I say, it's summertime. If I can get to my clothes and have my change of clothes, get to my bike, secure my bike, get to my safe, and the belongings that better still be there. You know, my last little bit of money, a couple other things, you know, I don't want to, I've got it documented though, but otherwise, yeah, leave your thoughts in the comments, please. The comments will help. I'm at 45 subscribers now. Thanks. I lost one somewhere. I'm not sure what. I hope I'm not offending nobody. I hope nobody's taking me the wrong way. I point the finger at myself as much as I do everything else. And on where it's, you know, whatever. But I've been in a few situations that I think few people are taking me the wrong way. And we'll get to that. So I don't know, subject I want to cover soon is the fake Christianity thing, which goes a lot in line of living in honor. You know what I'm saying? Because Christians are supposed to, everybody talks about religion and Christianity and this and that. Spirituality. I just, I connect with God, and I believe that, of course I believe Jesus was, is our Savior, and so I know but I'm not here to cram anything down anyone's throat, but I have my reasons, 100% have my reasons that will go way back from as a child having an out-of-body experience that, and I won't really discuss that much. I've never ever discussed that much and hardly ever told anyone ever about it. But that'd be the start of that, But the thing is, Christians these days, and they're being so misled by their leaders. And it's important. And I'm not condemning anyone that they're not going. I haven't gone to church in I don't know how long in my life, and then I'm like, it's not like I never ever believed or was against God, but I'm like what the prodigal son. I do have a past. I was involved in some stuff or whatever, but I've gotten off path before and whatever. I'm not here to hide nothing, like I said. But anyways, the point is, Christians are supposed to live a certain way. And one of those things is honor. And a lot of these people, public servants, even claim to be Christian. They go to church every Sunday, sometimes more days than that. And that's one thing I'm saying. You find the right church. I'm not going to condemn your church or whatever, but I found two different churches that my friends, I got a real good friend. One's over in Liberty Center. If anyone's in the area and want to know about them, check them out. Hit me up and I'll let you know right where they're at. And then one's running over in Paulding, and but they're good and they're that's whatever. But I'm not. The thing is, I'm not here to condemn anybody's church, whatever. You got to decide for yourself as a Christian. You got to decide for yourself what's right or not. As a person, you do. Period. And what's in line with your beliefs and not. And that's the thing. Living in honor. And there's where you get a lot of the false Christianity right there, because nobody's even living in honor. Christians are honoring. They say, "Oh, I'm saved and I've accepted Jesus and I'm saved," and then they sin all day long. No, you're pretending to be saved. You're not automatically saved just because you say a prayer that somebody told you on TV to say, "Oh, Jesus, come into my life." That's a good step, I guess. But it's not until you truly mean it, and you don't truly mean it until you start understanding how you're supposed to live and what's right and wrong. And then when you start doing that, and you start resisting the wrong things, then you start feeling it. Then that's when you get the feel. Okay, then that's when you start realizing it's real. Okay, I can tell you right now, I don't want to get off subject. We'll get to that later, a subject about Christianity, but how I know it's real. And here's one way I know it's real. Certain things that have happened to me recently, maybe not real within it, not ever since I've been in this situation that's going on with me, I've been in some, come into some situations that that should not have been, and under normal circumstances. That when life's going for me for great, these certain situations never presented themselves, but now they do. It's because I'm making a vow to do things to myself, and to, you know, I talk to God about it, but that's between him and I, but to do right. Okay, and that's Satan coming in saying, oh, I'm gonna mess you up and get you off track and make you not do right. And so we'll get to that later, but it almost goes hand in hand with the whole honor thing, living in honor. And that don't mean, honorable person don't mean they're not gonna mess up and make a mistake, but when you're supposed to be an honorable person, when someone points out you made a mistake, and when you know for sure, where's the honor? There is none. None amongst our public servants. And when they want to prove it, whatever. They want to shut me up. You know what? I don't need the threats. I don't need you making my life hard. You want to shut me up? All you got to do is live in honor. That's all it takes. They act like, oh, I'm being unreasonable. I'm not. I'm the one that's being totally reasonable. It's drug on this long. None of them are living in honor. None of them are honoring their oaths. It is up to us, each people, to live in honor, period. No one's forcing you to. You don't have to. But then it's up to us to stay away from those who don't. And that's how I judge my life. If you're not an honorable person, if I try not to be a liar. If you're a liar, I don't want shit to do with you. You know, stuff like that. You know, I try, if I wrong you, and you know what? You don't have to be a nut about it. You let me know what it is, and I'll make it right. There's people, you know, there's people that attest to that. When I realize I've done something wrong, it's my fault, I'll go out of my way to make it right. That's an honorable thing to do. And I'm not trying to, for myself or whatever. Yeah, I get to my own self. I get proud of myself a little bit in certain situations, like, wow, you know, whatever. But I'm just saying, you know, that's how I choose to be. And you know what, if anyone swears an oath under a higher power, they swear an oath to protect all this stuff and to live that honorable way. How come none of them, you know, what kind of people are they in real life? Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll get to another subject later. I wanted to jump on here and talk about that, and keep everybody up to date, I guess. Let you know I'm still alive or whatever. It is rough, I ain't gonna lie, but I don't know. Some of these things just hard to show or talk about at the moment, you know. And how's my stuff gonna be now? I gotta go through all this rigmarole to get my stuff, you know. And you got a truck? I was like, look, the whole reason I'm even ended up in this situation is that what I thought I had available to get my stuff moved fell through. Whatever, it is what it is. But so I can't guarantee I'll show up with the truck. Oh, well, we could have it moved into your name. Okay, whatever, you know. I just want to know where my stuff is. I want my stuff. It's my stuff, you know. Who's the vendor? You know, they already, and here's the thing, what kind of shape is my stuff in? How's my bike? How's my my bed? How's my clothes? My other important things I had, you know, nice thing, whatever. How is any of my stuff, considering my guitar that I showed on the other video is damaged? At least one guitar damaged, you know, so whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching. Talk to you later, and we'll come on here with some other subjects. I don't know. Shoot the shit until I can come out. There's some things going on, you know, world events or whatever. There's a couple of things I want to point out that I've seen on some of these auditors things, videos out there. I don't know, I gotta get comfortable doing it right, because this is my studio now. This is my home now that we're hanging out at. Anyways, See ya.